Um, Basically, I've decided to start a band. Um, it's kind of been something I wanted to do since I was really little. I mean, every kid wants to be a rock star when they're small. Um, the thought of being so, I think, at the time you find yourself so minuscule and, unimportant when really we grow up to be the most important people, the highest generation, usually the group in about their, 30s to 40s count most. 20s kind of the more mature, but no. Eventually, I always thought if it was meant to be that the right people would just sort of walk into my life and they would all just sort of have to be musicians and we'd all have to get along. And things didn't work that way. So I've decided to make a movement on, you know, actually attempting to be in a band together. Um, Currently, it is just me and my best friend Wade. We plan on expanding, but for now it's simply an experimental. We're not going to record anything. We're just messing around, doing what him working on whatever, me working on whatever, till it all comes together and whatnot. But I wrote a song, but currently it's only a poem. I don't consider anything a song until you have all the parts to it. So this is just one part. So this is poetry. It is called "Dying Your Soul Away on a Slit," and I'll explain what it means after I finish reading it. Paint a face, wear a mask, leave an impression that ever lasts. Giddy sad, pathetic mad, no one will truly know. You're a hard ass, douchebag, asshole cunt. So you've managed to convince the world, including yourself. You're oh so bad, losing yourself in a sea of a fad. Do yourself a favor and fuck the front. Paint on a face and wear a mask. Change your image, change it fast. Shove on a costume, put on a show. You you won't know the difference, and no one will know. Nevermore a complaint, nevermore a whine. Just sign your soul on the white slip line. Paint a face, wear a mask. Leave an impression that ever lasts. Pile on the blush, the lipstick, the mascara. Pull down your shirt and pin your hair up. You're a whore, you're a bitch. You're a slut, you're a rat. Does anyone see any intelligence behind that? Your wishes, your thoughts, your opinions, hopes, and dreams, all broken and shattered and gone mainstream. Paint on a face and wear a mask. Change your image, change it fast. Shove on a costume, put on a show. You won't know the difference and no one will know. Nevermore a complaint, nevermore a whine. Sign your soul on the white clipped line. Paint a face, wear a mask. Leave an impression that ever lasts. You're depressed, you're alone. You gripe, you groan. You bitch, you moan. Shut up, you fucker, you're just another clone. All for what? All for why do you cry? You slide a razor across your wrist. You pull your hair, you clench your fist. Where's all the logic? What happened to your brain? You cut it into pieces and flushed it down the drain. Paint a face. Paint on a face and wear a mask. Change your image, change it fast. Show in a costume, put on a show. You won't notice the difference, and no one will know. Nevermore a complaint, nevermore a whine. Just sign your soul on the white slip line. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, don't be shy. Learn to pick out the fakes and ask them why. Basically, I see it as a time in your life when you finally come out of childhood and figure out who you are. Because I look back at school pictures and, up until about, you know, fourth grade, we all look almost exactly the same. We're all wearing almost exactly the same clothes. And then you get to fourth grade and you notice subtle differences. We break up into, you know, tight groups and then eventually tighter groups, and the farther you go and you see people breaking into more and more different groups, and it's talking about faith and the people who have actually found themselves. There's certain people who can't listen to other music and can't dress other ways and can't, do their makeup a certain way or can't act a certain way or they're not comfortable. And I'm not talking about just myself. Like I've said before, like I have friends who, if they ever dressed like me, would probably rather jump off a cliff than go out in public looking at like I do, but they don't mind being in public with me. It's not that they're embarrassed of the style, it's just not for them. But then there's the people who simply see other people doing it and panic and then start to act and dress away so they can fit in somewhere, and they lose themselves while doing it. And it the song is basically saying, what is the logic behind what you're doing? If you're simply doing this to do this, it's just you're throwing your life away and you're losing your sight of yourself. Because if that's not who you are, you're fake. So give me feedback. This is the first song slash poem. Poem for now, song later hopefully. So that's all for now.